Welcome everybody to another episode of a Kite Squad. My name is Freddy Days. Today with me, Jerry Mogar. Jerry.
Hello there. How you doing?
I'm used to the Spanish hello, the Spanish greeting.
Hello.
Anyways.
Band. Hello.
Hello, Banda.
Banda. For which, if you don't know Spanish, banda stands for band. So band. There you go. That's us just being
there you
ourselves. And we do apologize because there's going to be some lag here. There's going to be some delays. So getting that already said, let's kick it off. What are we going to talk about today, Freddy Days?
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about Mando Season 2. Mando, the Mandalorian, has been a great series, a great action series produced by Dave Filoni and Joe Favreau. Marvelous, if you ask me. Especially the ending, but we'll get there. No spoilers yet. So, Jerry, what are your thoughts so far before into the Mando Season 2?
Yeah, I mean, no spoilers just yet, but be warned, guys and gals, because you're gonna get spoiled tonight.
Well, yeah, we have to have this disclaimer, this spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Mandalorian, you might want to pause this video, see first from your own eyes. I'm sorry.
Have your own take on it. Have your own take on it. See what you think.
Or, I mean, I know that there's other people. I'm sorry for interrupting. I know there's other people that mind listening or having other perspectives, point of views, or even talks about what it actually happened. So those that it doesn't matter if you hear this podcast, this chit chat between me and Jerry about Mando Season 2. Go ahead, then you can go ahead and see Mando 2. But yes. Warn, spoiler alerts.
There are some spoilers coming. So how do we start this season, Freddy Days? How does it all start? We see Mando, we see what we call in the Spanish version of this podcast, Pascalin, for which we're going to contextualize a little bit. We call him Pascalin because we here in Mexico, or at least I believe in Latin America, we like to shorten out the names, just adding a "in" at the end of every name. But anywho, it is Pascalin because the actor that interprets. Well, you'll correct me. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. But the actor that interprets Mr. Mando is Pedro Pascal. So as his son, we decided to call him Pascalin. So there you go. That's why we call Pascalin. And so we're back to this scene with them just having a stroll on the street, just chilling like villains. And yeah, what else happens? Where do they go? They go to a certain type of WWE match, which is kind of mixed with this underground fighting type of game, and yes. With this porky looking guys.
Those I forgot the race, how they're this. We see these characters in the Castle Jabba the Hutt. If you've seen the movies from episode 6, that's the first time that we see it, at least in the original trilogy. No, I believe in the entire Star Wars universe. In the prequels, I don't think it is type of race. We do see them in the Clone Wars in this animated series, but yeah. So, anyways, we see this Mando going into this, as Jerry said, in this where they have this underground box, underground fight fight to death, and he's looking basic information. He's looking for more people of his kind, more Mandalorian. If we remember in the last season, most, or I would say all of the Mandos, the Mandalorians that are in the town where they were hiding, were exterminated. They were killed by Moff Gideon. So he's looking for more of his kind, and to continue with his mission, to have Pascaline, Baby Yoda, as we call it, to his kind. So far, it's just like take him to his kind. So far that he's a Jedi, so Mando is just looking for information. Then he gets this information, and he goes to Tatooine, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. He goes to Tatooine, and he goes with this. I forgot her name. The lady that used to fix his ship, the Razor Crest, back in the season 1.
I believe that.
No, not the armor. This lady that has the 3 little droids. That
Pelimoto.
Mando didn't like when Pelimoto, yeah, there you go. He goes and tells her, like, take care of the baby. I need to go look for another mission, etc., etc. You know how it goes so far with the what's it called? You know how it goes with Mando looking for information. So he goes with Pelimoto and says, like, hey, I was told that in Tatooine there is this city, but I don't see it in any map. And she goes like, oh, you know what? That goes like way back in the old days, before the Empire, before the Empire would disappear. So she's like, it should be in this area where the map doesn't go. So it's like Mando goes like, okay, here, take Baby Yoda and take care of it for me. And he goes. And yes, indeed, Mando reaches to this city that it's just like a ghost town. A lot of poverty, if we could say it somehow. A lot of they had some hard times. And he goes to this cantina, to this bar, and he's like, I'm looking for a Mandalorian. For a what? The bartender says, like a guy like me. Oh, the marshal. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. Where is he? Then we see in the back this marshal in, and it's not Boba, but we can see Boba's armor. So for me, it was like a moment that is super exciting, because we see Boba's armor. The last time that we knew from Boba's armor was at the end of, in episode 6, when he goes to this, what's the name of that creature? I'm super forgetful today.
My goodness, why did you bring up that? Jesus. I mean, guys and gals, we're stumbling with the language, and we're stumbling with facts, with Star Wars facts today. You'll have to, we do need to apologize.
Forgive us, please.
But we're not, facts or data is not our thing today, so we do apologize.
Yeah. So anyways, so the last time that we knew about Boba, or we have like sort of information that Boba actually made it alive, he made it out of this this creature. I'm sorry, I forgot the name today. Post in the comments the name of this creature that I'm just not, it's not in my mind today. Um, so, anyways, only in comics we saw this let's say information about the Boba, about his armor, and see it. And actually, the Marshal tells us a story on how he get it, which in a way matches with this story. And let's, even though it's not canon, it's legends.
Let
It
me
actually
interrupt you right there. So,
okay.
God bless Google. God bless Google. And after that actual creature's name or race was a crate dragon. So we see this crate dragon, and the town was called Mos Pelgo, which in Spanish sounds like más pelo. For every one of you that are not familiar with Spanish, we're just gonna try to translate that. Más pelo would be more hair. So it is kind of funny if you think about it. So there you go. You learned something in Spanish that you
if you
didn't
think
know.
about it.
Probably you did know. But if you didn't, there you go. You're welcome.
So well, Mando is in Maspelo, Mosplego, which was far away from Mos Eisley, which was like the from Tatooine, like the farthest city so far, or that let's say more important. Maspelo wasn't that important. So, anyways, Mando is for the armor of this Mandalorian. You're not a Mandalorian. You don't deserve it. You don't know the history of the armors. I need you to give me that armor, please. So, after a brief discussion, the Marshal says, well, I'm sorry, it happens. There is an event. We see, there's like an earthquake. Well, first it starts like an earthquake, and then they go out, and then they see something in the under the earth, and it's just like moving. And to me, in my personal opinion, it's like a creature. I'm not sure if they based it in this 90s movie, but do you remember the movie Tremor?
I do.
With Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon. Kevin Tocino.
Kevin Tocino. that movie Tremor, from the creature that was like blind, but it would also go from like underneath the earth. It would be like some sort of worm. So this creature, one of these buffalo-like this creature, and eats it, and then it goes.
What's up with you, a bantha?
A bantha, yes. To me, they're just creatures today.
We already apologized.
I'm gonna be
He's a little bit too tipsy. Excuse him.
Apologize, yeah. You want to see you want to know which creature we're talking about? Watch the TV series.
There you go.
The Mando series. There you go. So anyways, yeah. So anyways, the Marshal says to Mando, "You want the armor? Help me get rid of this creature, of this dragon." And then, okay. Then, we won't go much into details. We'll just give you like the big picture. Don't gets help basically because they need help from the very first or the original people in this Maspelo town, and the Tusken Raiders. Mando gets with his Tusken Raiders, the marshal is like all scared, like almost peeing his pants. Oh, they're gonna kill us! Oh, they're dangerous. And we see Mando just like doing some sign language, talking with them.
Communicating, bargaining, all of that, and he just goes out and I don't know. He comes up with this weird language. Well, he doesn't come up because you know how to speak it, but it was interesting to see that because you wouldn't imagine Mando talking like that or being able to speak the Tuscan language itself. So it's interesting to see that and see both communities because it's the Maspelo community and the Tuscan Raider community working together in order to kill this beast, right? So it's funny when you see them going back to Maspelo and just the Tuscan Raiders being, I don't know, what would the word for that be? Kind of clumsy when handling the bombs and people getting mad. So they kind of force this community type of feel to both sides of the story. They bargain, they come up to an accord, and they set up to kill this beautiful, 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 lovely beast.
Exactly. I just know that it's a dragon. It's no, not a crate dragon. This one was what's the name of this creature? Well, anyways, so so Mando asks, as Jerry said, I don't even know
which creature you're talking about. I cannot.
The very creature that they try to kill. This creature that goes from the earth, like worm-like.
That's a great dragon.
Oh, that's a great dragon. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, sorry, I'll edit this. So they come up with the plan of planning bombs like underneath and having this bantha and as bait. What the only thing they did is piss the creature off. The only thing they did, and we see that it's not only we see how really big it is, like it's there are no words in my mouth to say how big it is. It's huge, immense. But not only that, it spits acid.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an adjective out there larger than humongous, just please let us know. Educate us. We're here to be educated by you guys and gals. So, yeah, if there's something that describes something more than humongous, please let us know. But, yeah, going back to what Freddie was saying. So you were saying?
So all the people starts panicking, both Tuscan Raiders and the Maspelo people. And there was a last hope. A bantha with all the explosives left. So what Mando decides is use the marshal as distraction. He crashes the marshal's backpack. He goes flying. So the creature, the crate dragon, gets distracted. Mando gets to the bantha, gets the attention again of the dragon, and gets eaten by this creature. So we see into the bantha. So what went through my mind was like, I really hope that this is some Man in Black kind of thing. When Will Smith gets eaten by the cockroach, I was like, I really hope that something, and I believe this is Mando's plan. This creature from the very inside. And yes, that's what happened. Kind of predictable, but you know, that is very cool. it's a very cool scene where we see this creature going like, oh, what? And all, all the guts everywhere, all the people just like, oh, ew. this so anyways, Mando gets accomplishes or yes, accomplishes his goal. He destroyed the creature, and actually what he accomplished was peace between the Maspelo people, Tusken Raiders people. So there was going to be a period of peace, and the Tuskens were going to respect it unless the humans, as they refer to this Maspelo people, unless the humans will break the deal. So we learn a little bit also more about the Tusken Raiders. We don't only see them as just that are incorrigible, that are just like, they have honor as well. So they will honor their word. They will not mess with the people unless break the pact first. So the Marshal gets his armor to Mando, and off he goes. But then, this was like the cherry top. There is, as we see Mando goes in his speeder with Pascaline, with Baby Yoda, there is a scene like from the very back, and we see a perch just from his back, bald, and at him, looking the entire scene. And then he turns around and we see who we see, Jerry.
Temuera Morrison, our very, very, very beloved Temuera Morrison, with this Hawaiian stick that he brought to the Mandalorian lore. So that is quite amazing to see that final ending scene. And when you identify that you got Temuera Morrison there, and you start to think, I mean, there were rumors that Boba Fett was going to be there, but those rumors were not quite official until we saw him, and it was like, oh my goodness, you cannot stop and think. I mean, you cannot do anything, do anything more than stop and think if they are going to explain how the freak did he get out of the Sarlacc. So you just start going away in your mind.
Yeah, and
all over the place. You're all over the place.
And just so for those who don't know who Temuera Morrison is, I'm pretty sure most of you know, but just in case, he is the very first, he's the face of each and every single clone. He's the donor, basically, and basically he is Jango's Fett as well. Jango's Fett's son, if we can see it as well. In the universe Star Wars, Temuera Morrison, he played as Jango Fett in Episode 2 in the prequel as the clones. And now we see him as a Boba Fett. You remember as well, like spoiler alert, no, I'm not gonna go there. That's for another topic. Anyways, we see Boba Fett, and that's how it ends. The very first episode, and I was like, oh my god, like super cool. So as Jerry said, you just start wondering, like,
that was the second though, wasn't it? I believe it was the second.
Nope.
Was it the first?
That the very first episode, yes, that's the first episode, the Marshal. Because the second episode, it's called The Passenger, which to me, in my very first opinion, I didn't like that much. It was like, nah. Basically, the entire episode was like from Mando looking for. Now that he has armor, he still doesn't know who he is looking for. So again, it gets to this planet. If I'm correct, I'm sorry, it's Mari. he gets to a planet where looking for information, and I mean he gets info, but with one condition: he has to transport this little lady
Frog
frog.
lady.
If
Frog
we're gonna call her Froggy,
Froggy.
where he has to transport
Froggy.
Froggy
Uh,
to another destination. No, actually, his destination is Mount Calamari. So,
Not sure if it was Mon Calamari, but let me just Google that out while you talk it out.
well, while you Google it, so basically, the condition is Mando has to deliver this lady, but he can't go through. He can't. Uh, Mando had to uh, deliver this lady to his destination, her destination, sorry, with her little baby frogs and those legs. But there's one condition: he can't go through light speed. He can go through hyperspace. I'm sorry. Why? Because as soon as he enters into hyperspace, the boats, if I understood correctly, will crash, will die of their species. So they can't afford that. Mando, as he is into space, to we see that he gets with he what is going on with me? As he is into space, two X-wings, let's say, reach out to him, and they start doing some interrogation, and they recognize that ship from the season 1 when Mando was almost, let's say, passed over by this Twi'lek and the other crew members when trying to have her Twi'lek brother escape out of prison. These X-wings have a record from Mando's ship, so they were like, oh, we need to ask you some questions. So Mando tries to escape. He gets to he crashes into this cold planet, and well, you know, there's some unexpected let's say unexpected adventures. Mando is trying to fix the ship. This little froggy is into a, I think it's called geyser, a little like a hot kind of hot water in this very cold planet, and Baby Yoda just eating the froggies. I'm like, oh my god, no, they are the last of their species. Baby Yoda, like, kid, if you were my kid or my nephew or something, is like, I will hit you in the hand, like, anyways, then we see this huge spider and little spiders as well. I think I have arachnophobia because I saw them. I was like, ugh. Like, I got goosebumps. And so, anyways, I thought that they were not gonna make it. Well, they make it, but you know, the thrill at the moment. I thought that they were not gonna make it, and then we see these two X-wings. They made it. They somehow reached where Mando was. They helped them escape, and at the end, yeah, they told him, yeah, you're free, you're good to go. Yes, you were wanted, but you gave us criminals. So it's like they gave get out of jail free card, basically.
Yeah, one for another. So they let him
They
go,
gave him a,
and he barely makes it to that planet. Still not sure if that was Mount Calamari, but anywho, it is a planet that looks, if it's not Mount Calamari, it is a planet that looks pretty much the same pretty much the same.
It has a
So
lot of creatures like that,
yeah, yeah. So
like
we see
Quarren
the
calamaris.
Quarren and the Mon Calamari and all of that beautiful jazz, all of that beautiful diversity. And the first scene we see there is that the frog lady or Froggy finally makes it, sees her husband or her significant other, if you will, and they just run towards each other, they hug, and people go like, "Oh, how cute! Look at that!" When you still believe in love, that's what happens to you. So, anywho, that happens. Mando continues in his search for another Mandalorian. Um, he goes to a bar again, to another cantina again. This is quite simple. I mean, you can tell he's Latin American because all he's thinking is getting some brewskis, relaxing. But anywho, still working, right? He goes out. They tell him
Yeah.
that they have the info. They set him up. He's in trouble. Pascaline is in trouble now. He sets out to rescue Pascaline. Um, Pascaline is nowhere to be found. They close the gate on him with the beast. So he's fighting against the beast that's about to eat him up. And then
Yep.
that's when, what happens, Sir Freddy?
Well, I was crying like, Mando, get Baby Yoda, get Pascaline, but oh my God, he's gonna drown. He's like, I didn't know what to expect in this episode. This was pretty cool because we see these unexpected allies, and they were indeed other Mandalorian. Here we see Bo-Katan. We see this blue armor. Oh my God. When I saw Bo, I was like, no. My mouth was like, my jaws just like dropped to the floor. I was like, Tan? In the live action series, if you don't know who is, just like a quick summary, Bo-Katan, it's the sister of the former or ruler from Mandalore. Just that. I'm gonna leave it like that. You have to see, to get a little bit more into it, I will recommend you to see the animated series Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So Bo-Katan, we can say the ruler, the legitimate ruler of Mandalore. So anyways, she's there with other two Mandalorians, and Mando escaped. Actually, well, Mando couldn't get Pascaline, Baby Yoda. He says like, the baby is there, please me. The other Mando that was assisting Bo-Katan goes and retrieves Baby Yoda. So, okay, they take out their helmets, and Mando was like,
Infidel!
Why did you
You
do that?
infidel!
Infidel! Like, traitor! How dare you? How dare you? And he leaves. He just flies away. And this lady, not Bo-Katan, the other girl, the other Mandalorian, says like, he's one of them.
Let me interrupt you right there, because one thing that I consider to be very, very important is that we see Kathleen Sackhoff interpreting Bo-Katan. To the ones that do not know, Kathleen Sackhoff is the voice actor that did Bo-Katan on the animated series. And that is something, by what I've heard, is not that common. So having that voice and having her interpret that character itself, it's like mind-blowing. You're just like,
yeah, you're right. It's not not very common to have the person who basically interprets the voice in the, and let's say an animated show in the live action series. And actually, I mean, the looks, also the looks is, I mean, she's exactly the same as in the animated series. She's exactly the same, so that fits perfect to her. So, anyways, they meet again in this super, and they tell Mando like, you know what, can we have a drink? Like, if you don't want to take out your helmet, that's fine. But anyways, they ask Mando like, you want information we know about this type of uh, let's say force users, like we know about them, so know someone who can help you, but I need you to help something else. So Mando's like, okay.
Always a but. There is always a but. Sorry, bad joke.
Okay.
You'll have to get used to it. Sorry, you're stuck with us.
Okay, so I got lost. I don't know what Jerry meant. But so here Mando says,
See?
"Okay, I'll help you."
There's always a but.
So
there's
he
always a
takes.
but. You just said it. That's what I meant. I don't know what you thought.
So Mando's Baby Yoda back to Froggy, and we're gonna call the Froggy and Frog.
You nicknamed her, and then now you changed it. Come on, Freddie. Come on, man.
No, because Mando is like, I need you. I need to go on mission, so take care of him, please, while I'm gone. So he takes the Frogo family. So off they go. They go and they're trying to get this ship that was from the Empire. I mean, well, still from the Empire, that had a lot of stormtroopers, had a lot of weapons, and Bo-Katan tells Man, tomorrow we need to get that ship. That's gonna help us to our revolution. That's gonna help us, you know, etc., etc. So they infiltrate. They get to the ship. They made it in, and then they have this transmission. As the Imperials, they were losing basically the ship. They ask for assistance, not other than Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon and them like, how? Okay, so you want help? How far have they gone through the ship? And the captain is like, almost all of it. And Moff Gideon is like, you know what to do. I'm not gonna send. Long live the Empire. And as soon as they finished those words in that transmission, long live the Empire, the captain kills the two other pilots. He kills them. He takes control of the ship, and he was going to crash it. They made it in. They take the captain out. They basically take control of the ship. And Bo-Katan tells Mando's like, you know, you could still help, blah blah blah. And Mando basically says no. No, I have my own. I need to get the baby where he belongs. So she tells him, you need to get to this planet, and you need to ask for Ahsoka Tano. I mean, as soon as she mentioned her name, well, I was like, again. Not only my mouth dropped, I screamed, I yelled, Why? Because, okay, Astano, if you don't know who her is, I'm sorry. If you don't know who she is, you need to see again the Clone Wars animated series, but in Disney Plus there is a movie, like a 2-hour movie from the animated series, the Clone Wars. So this movie is when they introduce Ahsoka Tano as Padawan to Skywalker. I mean, Padawan of Skywalker? What? So, I mean, I personally love Ahsoka. All the things that I can say we've gone through in the animated. So, anyways, she mentions Ahsoka. I was like, I can't believe that they're bringing Ahsoka to the live action series, especially after the fine. Well, I'm not gonna mention that. Especially that event, so sad, that happened in the animated series.
Yeah.
It don't deserve it. So, anyways, oh my God.
So yeah, she appears, and yes, this Padawan, this Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, which started Mrs. Snips. She was pretty much a Mrs. Know-it-all. So she knew everything, and she was just also high up on herself. And then we see this development of her being grounded, action by action, mission by mission, and this trajectory that you see happening with her, you fall in love with that character. That is the truth, and that is why much of us fans love her. And us as Latinos or Latinx or whatever you want to call this, people from not the U.S., people from Latin America, and we love it because Rosario Dawson, she's I believe she is of Latin American ascendancy, if that's how we call it. But yeah, I mean, it's important to see that, and Rosario was an actor that was suggested by fans to reprise the role on live action, or well, to take the role in live action. This is something that just goes deeper into your heart, into your Warsy fan heart. So, well, most of us, right? She's got some political claims out there. And let me just say this out loud, plain and simple. She's an actor. She's not a politician. So whatever it is she expresses, I don't care what she expresses. Or if she's into a legal something, that is her thing, or that was her thing. I believe it is now all clear and it is all good, but leave her alone. Leave Rosario alone. Let them actors be actors. Don't try to politicize with, right? So, anywho, after this short commercial break, do not be political. Back to it. So we see a song.
So yeah, so they Ahsoka, but the next episode, I mean, Mando's ship was just like, it was trash. The Razor Crest was beaten after all of this ups and downs that he had. So he goes with an old friend. Had. That's past, and that's correct. Check it out. So he goes back with his old allies in Navarro, if I remember correctly, this like town, and well, we see again Cara Dune. That I'm so sad that she's not gonna be with us in the season or in any show of Star Wars. So sad, but anyways, I love Cara Dune. So we see Cara Dune, and these are what's his name? Apollo Creed's name in the show.
That was.
I always forget his name.
Jesus, don't put me in this position.
No, Grief Karga.
Grief
Karga? Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, that one.
Got it.
So
that's better.
so 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 we see Mando and Grief Karga asking for their help. So Grief Karga agrees to fix Mando's ship, but we see like this little sneaky, let's say, view from one of the technicians, from the mechanics, to Mando, like just stares at him. Grifa and Cara Dune tell Mando like, we're gonna leave Baby Yoda here in school. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen, but we need to talk. We see Baby Yoda doing of his, using of this always eating to get this, what Jerry calls Oreos. I didn't remember that the other day, those cookies, they are called macarons, shit like that. Macarons. Google it up. Google macarons. So that's what they're eating. Macaroni and cheese, macaron, but they're like cookies, and they're like super into.
Yeah, you know what that
it's
reminds,
like
what that what that puts
like a trend right now.
Macaron.
Yeah.
Okay, to contextualize this, there's a song here or in Mexico or Latin America. I don't know if it ever got to Latin America.
We grew up with this song.
Yeah,
oh my god.
This is
what kind of music we grew up?
Such a weird song, but it's so I don't know. It got to be mainstream. So that song went like some type of old or a reggaeton ancestor that went chacarrón, ron, and then there's no words but just chacarrón. So macaron. Okay. So we went out of the subject. Let's just go back in.
Yes. So Baby Yoda used words because he asked for this kid for a macaron cookie, and the kid like, no, I'm not gonna give you any. And Baby Yoda's like, you don't give me this. Yes, you will. He uses the force, and then Baby Yoda in this macaron cookie. Cuts in. We go back to this chat. Grief Karga, Cara Dune wanted to talk to Mando. We see that, they introduce Mando to this program of the planet, and they tell them most of the planet is secure with this area. We've seen some some still ships from the Empire, some TIE fighters. We need to know what's going on. It should be empty, but I don't know. So they go ahead and investigate, but here they find something very important that, at least to me, they try to tie it in this series with the sequels, with episodes 7, 8, and 9. We see this back the tanks with some sort of creature, but we learn that they are experimenting with cloning, and that's why it's Pascaline. So I like this episode just because of that. That's the only thing that made it a while. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, well, actually, trying to just justify the sequels and trying to do it the best way they can. I mean, that's the masterminds' work, which are Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. That's why we love them. And it is justifiable. They're playing with clones. They're kind of justifying Snoke. They're kind of justifying Palpatine returning the way he did. I mean, without further explanation, and they're doing their best effort to try to connect everything and try to connect us back as fans because there's quite some division out there. So it is nice to see
Exactly.
their attempt to do that. And yeah, as you mentioned it, Freddie, I I do conjugate with that. I support that motion. So yeah, that that chapter was worthwhile for me just because of the back attacks we saw on the background. From that, it's pretty much a filler episode for me. That's how I felt.
Yeah, because because we see this uh, hologram or this transmission from Pershing, to Pershing, who's referring to Moff Gideon, and Mando. He had the illusion Moff Gideon was dead. He was like, I mean, it's impossible. Moff Gideon is dead. This should be an old transmission, and they're like, it's 3 days old. So Mando is like, okay, so he's alive. So Mando, he freaks out. So he goes out like from that uh, from that place. And meanwhile, Cara Dune and Grief Karga and this other character, I forgot even to mention it, but anyways, I mean, they managed to destroy this plant, and well, once they make it to Nevarro, because they were being chased by TIE fighters, Mando helps them and these TIE fighters. Grief Karga, just to end this up, he says like, "Hey, do you want to stay? You know, hang out?" And Mando's like, "Got to go," and that's it. I mean, and very, as Jerry said, it could be considered as filler, very much like episode 2, but it gave us this scene. It, that was worthwhile. The next step, it's I would say this best, or the best. No, probably the best. I would say I will put it this and the end. Chapter 4. No, I'm sorry. It's Chapter 5, the Jedi. Chapter 5, the Jedi, is very close to the end, but anyways, the Jedi. Oh, as we mentioned earlier, I mean, they mentioned Ahsoka's name. So in this episode, when it starts, I was like, okay, we're definitely gonna see Ahsoka. I mean, because Mando is like, I need to look for someone. So with the ending, is like, okay, he's going to look for Ahsoka. I thought that we were gonna see Ahsoka, what, maybe that's 5 minutes, just like her apparition, and that's it. But oh my god, as soon as the episode started, I mean, I was just not ready. I wasn't ready. If you've ever seen any Kevin Hart's, if you've ever seen any Kevin Hart stand-ups, like, no, I wasn't ready. No, I was just not ready. We see Ahsoka Tano from the very beginning. Oof. No, Jerry, I'm speechless. I'm just remembering this.
I mean, seeing those two lightsabers ignite, you just shit your pants.
White lightsabers.
White lightsabers. I'm sorry, sir. Anywho, you start seeing that, and you were not prepared for that. As Freddie mentioned, you didn't have your diapers on, so you just yourself, just right away. I mean, it's just so important how it all starts, how we see a whole chapter of Ahsoka, and having the announcement of her having, well, getting a series for herself. It's just mind blowing. I mean, that's that's pretty much it about this chapter. Seeing her and then communicating with Grogu,
Yeah.
for which we get the
Which I mean,
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
we learned that Grogu's his name. Until this episode, we learned the name of Baby Yoda, the real name. We've been referring to Baby Yoda, well, to Grogu, I'm sorry, as Baby Yoda and Pascaline so far, until this very episode. So from now on, it's going to stop being Pascaline and Baby Yoda. It's now called Grogu, because that's his name.
For me, it'll always be Pascal. That's as simple as that is.
That's it. Yeah.
Believe me, believe me,
Okay.
believe me. You
Yeah.
that are watching, you that are listening to us brag or just try to talk Star Wars, you make up your mind and you decide how to call him. But for me, it'll always be Pascal. So
That's good. So,
you were saying
yeah, go
stuff.
ahead.
You were saying, go ahead.
Well, I was saying, go ahead. So, as after Ahsoka reveals Grogu's name and reveals also something very important, reveals that Grogu was in the Jedi temple when the Order 66 hit, when Anakin killed the younglings, and it just one. It just one. What happened? It just left me with more questions, which I'm pretty sooner or later they're going to answer to those questions. To Jerry's, to you as fans, they're going to answer these questions. But it's still exciting that they are playing with this and letting us know, or let's say expanding from this moment, from this tragic moment that we all saw in episode 3. So Mando tells her, like, you know what, train him. I don't know, you definitely understand. But Ahsoka is like, no, I can't. Like, Grogu is too to you. It's like father and son, and I know and I've seen what these attachments do to the very best of the Jedi, to the very best of them. So I just can't, and I won't. So as the plot goes by, we see that Ahsoka is also looking for another interesting character that we saw in, or well, if you haven't seen, it's very famous and common in Star Wars Rebels. Ahsoka is looking for General Thrawn, which is also very amazing and exciting because Thrawn, it was another, let's say, he was for Rebels what Moff Gideon here in Mandalorian. He's just.
I think he's way better than Moff Gideon. I think he's more intelligent, more strategic.
He's definitely more intelligent.
So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, two different characters, but having that premise or having that promise itself of seeing Thrawn soon, you start wondering, where's Ezra, because he disappeared with this Ezra character on Rebels. So if you haven't seen that, if you're hesitant to that, and you're like, hey, you know what, I don't like the animation, don't pay attention to the animation, pay attention to the story. That's what it's all about. And yeah, fall in love with Thrawn as I did. That's just gonna leave it there. Take it or leave it. Your choice.
Exactly. So, well, the other important thing is that Ahsoka retrieves Beskar spear when looking for this information, which still not sure if she actually gets it or not. We just see that looking for Thrawn, but that's it. So anyways, Ahsoka tells him, you know what, I kind of promise that I will train him, but I just can't. But this is what I can do. Go to Tython. Go to this planet, and there's gonna be a ruin, like a temple. You can take him there, and he'll communicate. Hopefully, there will be a Jedi that will hear his. But then again, there are no more Jedis, or not that of them. So it's just it's like, okay, and story goes by. Mando gets to this when he's going to this temple. So, like, kind of like a kid with a new toy, Grogu. He's just playing with Baby Yoda, like Grogu. He's all excited. Grogu, and the other one, Grogu. But Mando is talking to Grogu, but at the same time, he's kind of like talking to himself. He's like, you know what? Hopefully we get, help from someone like you, like a Jedi. I can train you. You will be better with him or with them, yes. And they get to Tython. They get to this ruin, let's say, this temple, kind of looking like a Stonehenge, way cooler if you ask me, with like this rock, a thick rock, super cool. And okay, so Baby Yoda in there, and as he's just turning, like, okay, so you gotta do, and all of a sudden, like a force field.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Baby Yoda is already like in meditation pose, and Mando is like, okay, hey kid, like, are you okay? And he to reach out to him, and boom, he just flies away.
Yes,
and
sir.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
he's just like, okay, like, what do I do now? Like, while he's investigating, we see a ship, but not any ship, a ship that every Star Wars fan is familiar with, and especially if you've seen Episode 2, and well, Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6. You've seen this ship, and I'm talking about the Reworld show. That one. Do you know model?
What's that?
Do you know the model? That one. Slade. So, you know what this means. What we've been waiting since Episode 1. What I was waiting since Episode 1. I was just wondering when.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We see that the slave lands, and then there's this figure getting out of the ship. So Mando sets out and goes to protect Grogu so nothing happens to him. Then we see Mr. Boba Fett claiming his honor. And then
Yeah.
what happens, my friend?
Well, we see Boba rocking the dad bod. A little chubby, but I mean, it's okay. I don't mind. It's Boba. It's Boba.
You know what?
So,
he got stuck in the cantina. He ordered some pozoles, some tacos. I mean, it was cool. He made it out of the Sarlacc. It was only fair that he got to eat whatever the freak he wanted to eat. So let him be.
Exactly.
He rocks out the dad bod.
Let it be.
Yeah. And he rocks out his weapons. We see for the first time in live action, the knee pads actually working with the gun type of thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
well, they bargain, they find Fennec Shan and all that, and they start fighting stormtroopers that arrive there. But just seeing Boba, that highlight of seeing him back with his armor, rocking the dad bod, rocking it, like really, really rocking it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And well, yeah, we see them just kicking ass, kicking stormtrooper ass. And when the
And
stormtroopers are about to, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
something that, sorry to interrupt, but we forgot to mention in the episode where we see the clones in the back of the tanks. At the very episode, we didn't mention what this like, let's say, Captain tells to Moff Gideon, like, the transmission is in the Razor Crest because they fixed Mando's ship, but plan like a GPS. But we see Moff Gideon with these troopers, with these dark troopers, with this. We forgot to mention that, very important then, because we see them in action this episode. This is the first episode where we see the dark troopers in action. So as Jerry was saying, when they are in this action, when they track Mando, first they destroy his ship. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Sound effects.
And Jan tells...
effects. Do the sound effect. So here's the sound effect by Freddy Days when we see the Razor Crest being destroyed. So let's just pretend that there's the Imperial Cruiser and there's Razor Crest here. Over here. So it fires.
It fires. And boom! Oh no! I mean, when this happens, I'm just like, oh my god, no. Mando is like, okay, the ship, the baby, and we see these dark troopers going down, flying, and getting Baby Yoda, getting Grogu, and Fennec's like, you know what, Boba, go to your ship because you'll be next. So Boba tries kind of like help, but he can't. The dark troopers took Grogu, and it's like a bittersweet moment. You're like, Mando, it's like get in time to assist Baby Yoda. He couldn't. He goes back and his ship is destroyed. He only with his Beskar spear, and when Boba tells him, you know what, I promise you that if you will give me my armor, we will leave and sound to, Grogu, but it's not unsafe, so I'm going to help you. So off they go. We cutscene, and then we are on ship of Moff Gideon. Oof! We see Baby Yoda just like throwing a tantrum, a berrinche, what we call a berrinche. Playing with the stormtroopers, like choking for a baby. I mean, he's not that a baby years old, but in his species, he's still a baby. But he's choking at the same time. Two stormtroopers, two adults, like. But I mean, eventually he and Moff Gideon all machiavellic.
Yeah, machiavellic.
He shows the dark saber to him, and he shows the dark saber and is like, you know, what is it? What this is? You don't know. To me, Baby
Kind of
Yoda
like,
looks like he tries to choke or do something on Gideon.
yeah, I mean, yeah, playing like a toy, like the rich kid playing with his toy in front of the other kid that cannot get that toy. So that's how he looks, and he's like, "Hey, do you like this? Well, you can have it. You know this, right? This is cool, right? Well, you can have it. It's mine, not yours." So it's funny that scene. It's just funny, and you see him play with Grogu, and he's so wasted. Well, tired. He's tired. He's tired. He's not wasted. No. Anyhow, you get the point, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to sleep, and it's all cool, right?
So after this, well, I mean, you're just wondering what are they going to do with him. So Mando goes back to Navarro looking for Cara Dune. It's like, you know what? I need your help. They took the baby, and I need to look for another person. I need me for. I always pronounce his last name wrong. What's this guy's name? Wesley. The
Who?
guy that Mando.
Mayfeld.
Mayfeld. Wesley. Oi. I don't know who am I thinking. Mayfeld. I need to look. I need for you to look for me. Mayfeld. So, I mean, Mando tells her like, we need to do something that it's dangerous. Will you help me? Cara Dune says, which leaves us to the next episode, The Believer.
The Believer. Oh yes.
So,
go ahead.
So, this episode, it's a filler because it's just they're just looking for information for where they could possibly take in Baby Yoda. They need to know like
it is filler
where is
in that sense, but we see a very important step of Mando's evolution. We see him taking off his helmet. Think that he did not because it was a code, and that was a way, right? So he takes off the mask to save his little one or to go and rescue him. So we see this change in his ideals. I mean, probably because he had already seen people taking off their Mandalorian helmet without an issue. So he starts to consider different things, and probably might consider taking off his helmet in the future if he doesn't need to have it on. And that is, I would consider the most important thing, that getting the location of Gideon, and in the end of that episode, saying the same phrase or the same paragraph that Gideon said to him on the first season, which was something like, you have something I want. You may have an idea of what you think you're in possession of, but you have no idea how important it is to me. Something like that, right? And that's how we close that episode.
Yeah.
Going to the final chapter. What do we have in store for us, Mr. Freddy Gaze?
So it's called The Rescue. I mean, and that just tells you everything. Here it's Mando, it's Dune, it's Bo-Katan. I mean, it's everybody. They're just going for the baby. It's like they're not going without a fight. So managed to crash into Moff's ship. It, it's just pure action the entire episode. But but the important I would highlight the important scene is where they actually take the baby, but they're kind of surrounded, and Mando is in this fight with. So remember that the only thing that survived was his Beskar spear. So that's the only thing that could actually. Beskar is the only metal that could go toe to toe with. So Mando is just fighting with Moff Gideon, and I believe that everyone was waiting for this at this point. Just like I was hoping something more dramatic, like Mando actually killing Moff Gideon, but he didn't, because Moff Gideon at point activates the Dark Troopers, and oh my God, it's just this point where everybody's trapped. They don't know what to do at this. And they need some sort of so Mando takes Moff to like the to the what's it called, the cabin where they give the orders.
The main deck. Would it be the main deck?
No,
What is
not
the main deck? No,
No,
it's not the main deck.
no, it's not the main deck. Like it's the they take Gideon to the in every star cruiser in where they have where the captains are basically and the generals. No,
We'll live it blank.
well, we'll yes. I don't remember how do you call this room in the where. As I said, you give the orders and all. This is the important and the most exciting thing. There is an X-wing, just one, and you start wondering, like, could it be? Could it be? Like, I know in the Star Wars universe, like. The X-wing, who could it belong to? But it's just like could it be just one? Really, that there are no reinforcements? And then we see this figure walking with a black robe, and it's like
no,
heart beating.
It's
not. No.
Don't toy with my emotions. Don't toy with them, please.
Yeah.
Please don't toy with them. Oh. And then what happens? We see the green lightsaber.
Oh my God.
Lightsaber.
Oh my God.
And it all rhymes with Vader's ending scene in Rogue One. I mean, the cadence, how he does things with the lightsaber, very, very, very reminiscent of Vader's actual lightsaber style or fighting style itself. And you see him crunching and crushing these Dark Troopers, for which those are very, very sophisticated machines, killing machines. And you see the ease that he ends them with. It just goes like this and that, and up, down, back, la 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 la. He just starts dancing, right? And we finally see that he finishes every Dark Trooper in the ship. And now he's closer to. Yeah, go ahead.
So and just to add, as you were saying that it rhymes with the Darth Vader scene in Rogue One, I would say that it's some sort of justice to Luke, because we never saw Luke fighting as he does now, and for whatever reasons, and a lot of reasons, you know, in the original trilogy, there is not enough budget. There were other times, etc., etc. And in the sequels, we don't see Luke fighting that much. So I
At all.
think that this
At all.
does up some sort of, or at all. So this, I would say, brings justice at least to Luke for what we all as fans were waiting and expecting.
Correct. Correct.
So something with action, with like Luke in action.
Yeah. On the sequels, we only see Luke fighting against himself. Fighting against himself. Against his patriarchy that he has in his mind. No, it's not like that. It's a character. Get it through your thick skull. But anywho. And we see him polo fighting his nephew. It's I mean, come on, man. But yeah, I mean, as you pointed out, they did great for the character that is Luke Skywalker. Now, that is our Luke Skywalker. That is our original or prequel fan, Luke Skywalker. The sequel fans, you guys are a little different. I mean, I still cannot wrap my head around why loving those movies, but we're trying. We're trying to find the love that many of sequel fans see. We're trying. We're still trying. We're not saying that we won't find that love, but we're trying. We try. That is our duty as Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Try to understand.
So well, it just ends perfectly after this beautiful scene of just Luke crashing and destroying all the droids, getting with where Grogu is, and I mean Mando asks him like, "Are you a Jedi?" And I am. He like, also R2. We see.
Are you a Jedi?
That's exciting.
No, that's why I have a lightsaber. And we see R2, yes.
So and again, this episode was beautiful. It was amazing. It also left me with questions. And what happened with, let's say, Grogu? I mean, at this point, I'm just wondering what happened to Grogu, because we all know in the sequels what happened to Luke's Academy. So it's just what happened with Grogu. It's just the only question that I have, and that we'll see maybe later on in the future. I don't know. At this point, I trust Ryan Johnson. Sorry. No. I trust.
Shut your mouth. Come on.
Yeah, no. I trust Dave Filoni, John Favreau. Yeah. Cruz, que se vaya el chamuco.
Y venga Jesús.
Y venga Jesús. So yeah. It finishes with a Luke going and you know, Mando kind of with a broken but happy, I would dare to say, in a certain way, or with relief. At least he's gonna be with someone of his kind. And he's telling Bo-Katan is like, you know what? I mean, I already retrieved the Darksaber. I mean, I know that you're the ruler of Mandalore, so here you go, take it. And Moff Gideon just like laughing, like she can take it.
I love
she knows of the Mandalore, and she can take it. You know she can take it. She needs to earn it. She needs to defeat you in the battle. And I mean that's it. It's like it's basically there.
Yeah, I mean it's just wow. I mean seeing Moff Gideon with that big old smile on his mouth, all filled with blood, and just like she can take it. She needs to win it bad.
No.
And he's like, I surrender. I yield. Here, take it. I don't want it. It's for you. I got it for you. She's like, no, but she stares at him with a weird look, which you don't know what to think of her thinking in that moment. But yeah, I mean, that is going to be, I hope, one of the questions that are going to be answered on season 3. As far as Grogu's question, I believe, I don't know, not my thing, but I believe there are rumors that he's going to be appearing as well on the Book of Boba. So there you go, little. Well, no, it's not a spoiler because it's a rumor. I do not have the veracity to say yes or no, but it is rumored to have Grogu or Pascaline or Baby Yoda on the Book of Boba. So there you go, guys and gals. Just leave it there.
Okay, so tell us, what did you think of the season 2 of Mando, the Mandalorian? Me personally, I loved it. Everything was great. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, most of it was just great, almost perfect, I would say. So, leave us in the comments, guys. Leave us in your comments any questions you may have, Reese, what you thought about us talking about the season 2 of Mando. Please leave us your comments there. Jerry, anything you would like to say before we close and wrap this up?
Nothing. I mean, I believe you've already pretty much covered it all. I mean, from chapter number 4, it hooked me. I mean, 1, 2, 3 was like meh for me, obviously. But from episode 4 till episode 8, I loved every one of them. I mean, even episode 7, which is just a filler, as we would like to say. I mean, I personally like a lot this comedy that Bill Burr does. So for me, it was like, great. Keep him on, please.
Yeah.
Right? So good. I just finished the 8th chapter with a big old smile on my face, still not believing how good it was. And yeah, I really hope that you guys felt the same way. If not, let us know in the comment section. If you liked us talking, misinterpreting everything, our mishaps with the data and everything,
forgetting things,
let us know with the like, the dislike, the comment, and obviously with your subscription, subscription. Huh? See? Change the voice.
Remember that we are also on Spotify, so you can listen to whenever you are doing other things, like doing grocery shopping, driving, whatnot. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. You'll see other questions. You'll see all other memes that we post, interesting content that we post in there. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're basically on most social networks, social media. Sorry. So.
Yes, sir.
And for me, that was it. That was it, guys. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for supporting, for subscribing, and talk to you later in the next episode. Bye.
And